I'm Lisa and welcome to my channel, The Southern Seamstress. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I know we enjoyed hosting our family dinner at our house. I think everyone had a great time and got plenty to eat. And while I'm talking about Thanksgiving, I really want to say thank you to everyone over the last few months who have watched my video, given me a thumbs up, left me wonderful comments, and especially of those who have subscribed to my channel. I just really appreciate it. In today's video, I have 15 gift ideas to share with you in case you need a little inspiration for the holidays or for really any time of the year that you need a cute gift. So before I get started, I'd like to talk about what I'm wearing. It's the Preston Knit Sweater by Style Art Patterns. I've reviewed it in my last video. It's made up in a beautiful sweater knit by Minerva. I really like the sweater overall, but I have a little confession to make about it. Now, Style Art Patterns are kind of known for having limited directions and very little illustrations, and I had kind of complained a little bit in my review that they didn't explain how to put in these side pockets very well. They did have a general tutorial on their website concerning pockets that I had looked at. A few days after I did the video, I was doing a little straightening around the house and I noticed some computer paper on a side table in my sitting room to see what it was, if it was something that I needed to keep. And first I just saw a page that had the test square on it, like from a pattern. And I noticed it was from the Preston Knit Sweater pattern, the test square. But then I also noticed that underneath that page was a second page. And it was actually page 3 of the pattern. The whole page was about the pockets with written directions and diagrams. Somehow it had gotten separated from the rest of the pattern. I think when I took the rest of the pages to tape them together, I thought I had all the pages except for the test square page, but apparently though that was stuck to the pocket direction page. So I did want to clarify that the Preston Knit pattern does have a page with it that kind of clarifies and gives directions how to install the pockets. Well, my first few gift ideas are for babies. And the first one, and probably the cutest one, is this little Dinosaur Tag Toy that I found on Sew Mag website. Now, Sew Mag, I had talked about it before because it had some apparel patterns that I put in my 13 free patterns that I wanted to make this winter that I did a few weeks ago. But they also have home decor and some children items such as little toys such as this dinosaur. And I thought he was really cute. The pattern comes with 2 different versions of the dinosaur. And here is my dinosaur. I think he's just really cute. Now, I made a couple of changes. I did enlarge the pattern just slightly. I added about a 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And on the instructions, this little stomach area is just a contrasting piece of fabric that they have you put like a heat bonding product like Wonder Under on so that you can just sew it on to the main dinosaur. And then you put like a little decorative zigzag stitch around it. So a couple of years ago, I got a Cricut machine, but I have never used it for the heat transfer vinyl or even the sticky vinyl. When I first got it, I used it to cut out a bunch of felt flowers and leaves to put on some wreaths I was making, and I really enjoyed that. And then I had it set up on a work table in my sewing room that's kind of directly across from me. But when I got my new sewing machine last fall, I had to put my machine on that table and it took up the whole surface. So then I put my Cricut up and I've just never got it back out. But recently I decided I wanted to try doing more projects with it, so I had gotten some heat transfer vinyl. So I decided it would work well for the stomach. So I just cut the little pattern piece out, and I had watched a video how to apply the vinyl with just a regular iron because I don't have a heat press, but I've maybe getting one for Christmas. So I used parchment paper and then a dry iron, and it went on fine. Now they had suggested a felt, using felt for the eye, but I also just kind of cut a little circle out with the black vinyl and put that on the dinosaur, and that worked well. And then the mouth is just a fabric paint pen that I used for his mouth. Now this calls for suggested different color ribbons, and also maybe using different types of ribbons so that the babies could, you know, experience different textures. So this one's a little velvety ribbon, and then these are all kind of silky, but then this one is kind of lacy. It's kind of a little bit scratchy feeling. So that gives them different textures to feel along with this vinyl on the stomach. I think he turned out really cute, and I think it's just the right size, and it's very lightweight for a baby to hold or a small toddler. Now, if you'd like to make something else to go with the dino toy, there is a free pattern on Spoonflower for a little bandana bib, or sometimes people call them little dribble bibs. And it is suggested that you make this out of some like cotton jersey fabric, you know, sort of like a soft t-shirt fabric. Now this is a free pattern by Spoonflower. Spoonflower has quite a few free patterns, but you can't go on the regular website where you order the fabric. So don't go to spoonflower.com. You'll go to a different website. They have it's blog.spoonflower.com. So blog.spoonflower.com, and it has quite a few free patterns. So it has this one. This is just a simple little bib pattern. It has just like this one pattern piece. It has 3 different sizes: 0 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, and 2T to 3T. And then you can finish the edges, you know, with Velcro, and it's easy to take on and off. Also included in Spoonflower's free patterns is a real simple little hat pattern. I did make one of those, and this is perfect for using up your t-shirt fabric remnants. It's just one pattern piece, and they just have one size on this, and it says newborn, but you can easily increase the size to do maybe a baby that's a few months old. But you're just going to do 2 pieces out of this fabric, and then 2 pieces out of a different fabric, and then sew those up and put them together. It's a very simple pattern, but if you use, like, you know, some bright prints, I think it makes it look really cute. So that with the bib would make a cute gift, or you could do all 3. So moving on to the next gift idea. This one is perfect for babies or toddlers or just young children, or even your pets. And it is just a small travel size blanket that they can carry around, or that's perfect to put over their car seat when you're traveling or going to someone's house. It doesn't take up a lot of room. So I used this bright colored flannel on one side, and then I have this chenille on another side. And this is actually from a backdrop that I used when I did some newborn photography several years ago. So I've been kind of recycling some of the backdrop to use to make my blankets. But you could also use some fleece, or you could have a lighter weight blanket and use 2 pieces of flannel, or you could use a piece of flannel and then like a quilter's cotton on one side, just depending how heavy you make it. Now I usually make it small enough so that each side is like a yard of fabric or less. So I think this one is about 40 inches by 30 inches. But I've made some that are more like 30 by 30. They're a little bit easier for a little child to carry around. And I've made a couple of these last year where I put the child's name. I embroidered it with my machine in the corner where it's just got their initial and then it's got their name. I didn't have any babies to make gifts for this year, so I actually made this for one of my little dogs. And her name is Gracie, but we also call her Grace. And when I was typing this out, for some reason I just put Grace. But this will be Gracie's new blanket. She's a little Maltese, and she gets pretty cool in the winter, especially after she gets groomed. But all I do is just take 2 pieces of fabric, either maybe a square or a rectangle, and I usually will curve the corners. I'll take like a little saucer or a round lid, and I will just do the outline of the corners, because it's just a lot easier than trying to, square out the corners. And I'll stitch that around right sides together, leave an opening, turn it, and then I'll press the edges. And on this one I have top stitched close to the edge, and then I top stitched again about a 1/2 inch from the edge. So it's got 2 rows of top stitching. But that's all I do for the little blanket. Last year when I made these for gifts, I also made a little pillow to go with it. I did a little pillowcase out of the flannel so it matched, and then I just did a little pillow form that was about maybe 8 by 10 inches. Just a little small pillow that they can use on the couch, or when they're in the car seat they can prop up their head with it, but it makes a really cute set. So I think that's a great gift for a baby or a small child, or even your pet. The next gift idea is one I talked about in one of my past videos when I did a video about things I had made for Operation Christmas Child, and it's this little play cape by Thread Riding Hood. It's a free pattern. It comes in sizes 18 months to adults, and I've been making the I think 3 or 4-year-old size, but I had made a few for Operation Christmas Child out of the Spider-Man fabric, and then I had used a flannel on the back so that it was kind of like a small blanket for the child, but also a play cape. But I had put an applique on the back that had Spider-Man on it. Now I haven't put anything on the back of these yet. I had one viewer that had sent me a comment and to say that she had made some of these play capes for gifts in the past, and what she had done on the back was use the heat transfer vinyl. So that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to find a Spider-Man symbol and do it like in black vinyl, but I haven't done it yet because I'm hoping to get a heat press for Christmas, and then I will put it on there. And then I also did a girl's cape that's not a superhero. It's just some pretty flowers on one side, and then it's this pink speckled flannel on the other side. And so I'll probably do some kind of flower design and then press that on here. I think that would be cute. On my old capes I had used some snaps around the neck, but someone had suggested that would be safer to put some Velcro, and the pattern does suggest Velcro. So I did use some Velcro, and I hadn't used Velcro a long time. I got this special, like really soft Velcro at Walmart the other day that's very easy to sew on. It's very pliable. It's not like that real stiff stuff that they used to have, and it's very easy just to sew on with your machine. So I really like that. That works well. Now I have another confession about my shoe boxes that I did for Operation Christmas Child. I spent several days organizing the boxes because I did a record number this year of 32 boxes. So I had stuff piled everywhere. In one of my rooms upstairs. The boxes were all laid out. I worked on them, just organizing them for 2 or 3 days. Well, I dropped the boxes off the Friday before Thanksgiving. And a day or 2 after that, when I was in my laundry room, which is next to this office sewing room, there was a tote bag, a large tote bag sitting on the floor that I had some projects in it. And when I looked down at it, I saw my Spider-Man capes. I had folded them up and put them in there so they wouldn't get mixed up with the laundry, I guess. And then I was just so concentrated on getting those boxes done that I forgot all about the capes to put in the little boy shoe boxes. But I happened to get a comment the next day from a viewer that really made me kind of glad that I had forgotten, because she had said that she was from Mexico, and that in some parts of Mexico they have actually banned superhero capes because some of the children have thought that these capes have special powers, and they have tried to fly off of some really tall buildings and have died in the process. So just a really sad story about the capes. So I'm kind of really glad that I didn't put those capes, because a lot of my shoe boxes in the past have gone to Mexico and in South America countries. So I will just keep those capes and put those, give those to some children that I know that I can fully explain to and make them understand, you know, that these are just pretend capes. They don't have any special powers. But I think as long as you can explain that to children, they are a really fun little gift to give them. And you can make them look so different depending on the fabric that you use. So that's the cape pattern by Thread Riding Hood. Now my next gift idea is also one that I had mentioned in my Operation Christmas Child video, and that's this bucket hat by Apple Green Cottage. And it comes in sizes all the way from a baby to an adult. I really like this pattern. I did make several of these for my shoe boxes. I didn't have time to make another one for the video, but she shows it here in solid colors, but it looks really cute when you use coordinating fabrics, prints for the three different pieces. And it is reversible, so you can make the underside totally different, or you can make one side solid and one side prints. Now this hat would be kind of cold if you're going into the winter season right now, but in some parts of the country I know you're moving into the summer season, so it would be perfect for that. Also, I think it would be perfect if you know, like if you have friends or family that are going to take a vacation during the holidays to somewhere warm. It would be cute to make like the whole family or the kids coordinating hats that they could wear on their trip. Also, I think it would be cute if you, in this crown area, if you have a machine that does embroidery, you could also embroidery a small design at the top or put their initial. That would be cute. So that's the free bucket hat by Apple Green Cottage. Now my next gift idea is the Happy Scrappy Scarf by Jennifer Hanen. This is a free pattern if you sign up for her newsletter. Once you sign up for your newsletter, she will send you an email with a link that has this scarf pattern, and it also has this really cute ice cream sundae pincushion. And then she also has these little fabric flower pins, or you could make them to just embellish the scarf, or you could, you know, use them to embellish anything. But you actually get 3 patterns from her when you sign up for a newsletter. Now I thought this scarf was really cute, and I was hoping to get it made. What she does is she uses knit scraps for the scarf, so that the scarf body, so that it's, you know, soft around your neck. And then for the little pieces that make up the fringe, you could use knit scraps, or you could use like cotton, quilter's cotton. And you can make this look so, you know, different. You can make it Christmassy fabrics, or you can make it, you know, non-Christmassy. Like this one, and she's used like some colorful rickracs and these little ball fringe. I think that's really cute. And then she's used some felt flowers with decorative buttons on them to dress them up. So I think this works well for younger children or even older girls that like to wear something whimsical. So that's really cute. I do hope to make this up sometime in the future. Now my next gift suggestion is one that a lady suggested when I was getting my fabric cut at Hobby Lobby the other day. I told her I was making up some patterns for a gift giving video, and she told me that what she really liked to make for her grandkids was the Burrito pillowcase. Now apparently the Burrito pillowcase has been around for years and years and years, because there are video tutorials on YouTube that, you know, go back to like 2008, 2010, but I had never made one. So I looked at some of the videos and I made this one. I think it's really cute and colorful. But if you're not familiar with the Burrito pillowcase, you have 3 different coordinating fabrics. So you have the main one here, and then you have this cuff, and then you have this little trim piece. And they call it the burrito style because you roll up your fabric in such a way that at the top here you only have one seam that catches everything, and it conceals the seam, so it's all nice and clean looking and pretty. Now I watched several videos, and I'm going to make another confession. I had watched a couple of videos, and I thought they were doing it pretty much the same way, the layering. And so when I got ready to cut it out, about a week later, I didn't rewatch the video. So, because I thought I had it down pat, and I just remembered that it seemed like they were putting everything pretty side up. So you put down the, you put down this fabric, and then you put this little trim, and you have it folded in half, and you put it down, and then you put this one down. Well, I got everything all folded up. I got my seam done. I even decided I was going to go back and serge the seam so it looked, all nice and cleaned up. And then I was flipping it out, and my trim piece was on the wrong side, or this was on the wrong side. These were on the right side. So I didn't know what I'd done. I thought I had done everything correctly. So I went back and watched these two different videos. And in the one that kept all these fabrics right side up, I think they did the trim piece last. They layered this piece, and then the trim piece. Anyway, the way they did it, it made the trim piece come out, correctly with this on the right side. And where they put the trim piece in the middle, this piece was supposed to go face down. So anyway, I had to rip out all my serge stitching and then the regular stitching, but it didn't take that long, and then redo it again. But anyway, it does work. Now this is a queen size pillow. I watched several different videos because I was trying to figure out what the measurements would be for a queen size pillowcase. And they varied. They didn't really, a lot of times they would give you the measurements, but they would not say what size pillow, and I think they were either making a queen or a full pillow. But generally this piece right here was 9.5 inches, and it's folded, so it has a seam, so it only comes out to be about 4. And then the trim piece was usually 2 inches or 2.5 inches. I cut mine 2 1/4 inches. And then this piece varied. Some people made it 28, some people made it 29 or 30. But I think what my cut pieces were for the burrito pillow was I cut the main fabric 28 inches, the cuff 9 inches, and the trim 2 1/4. And then finished, it came out to about 31.5 inches long and about 18 inches wide. Now, I really meant for this to come out maybe about 19 inches wide, but for some reason, this polka dotted fabric was several inches narrower than these fabrics. So when I trimmed the sides, because of this polka dotted fabric, I didn't get to keep as much width that I wanted to on the sides, but it still fits in this. This is a pretty fluffy queen pillow. But it would be easier to slide on and off if it was 19 inches wide instead of 18. Now, I did forget to say that this does have a French seam along the side and along the bottom. So all the seams there's no exposed seams inside the pillow. So I think that is a very cute pillow that, kids would like. Now, I think if I was doing it for adults, which I do plan to make some of these as gifts for Christmas, but I'm going to be making a set. But instead of quilter's cotton, I'm going to be using cotton lawn because I love the finish of cotton lawn. It's got a little silkier feel to it. So I just think it'll make even a nicer gift, especially for adults. So I will be making some of these, and I do plan to show a video after Christmas of some of the gifts I'm going to be making. I'll just have to film it before I give out the gifts, but I'll show it after Christmas. so that anyone that happens to watch my videos that I'm giving a gift to won't see their gift beforehand. So that is the Burrito style pillowcase. There's not a PDF pattern per se, but I will link the main video that I went by on YouTube, and that was a video by Stacy Lee Creative. So for my next gift idea, I have the Casserole Dish Cozy by the Birch Cottage. There's several free patterns for these casserole cozies. I really like this one. There's also some cute ones that I found, but they weren't free. But I wanted to use a free pattern for the video. Now, I know these have been around for a while too, but I haven't seen them featured in videos as much as I've seen the bowl cozies featured. I don't have any bowl cozies, and I didn't have a casserole cozy. This pattern comes in 2 sizes for the 13 by 9 casserole and then an 8 by 8 casserole. It's pretty easy to make. Now, if you want to be able to microwave this cozy, you need to keep in mind that you need to use 100% cotton fabric, 100% cotton thread, and the batting that you use has to be 100% cotton, and it can't have what they call scrim in it. And what a lot of people suggest is the zap and wrap batting. And that's what I used in my cozies. So here's the large size, and it is reversible. I'll take it out of its pin. So they don't have as much shape when they don't have the pan in them. But I have this cute little bumblebee print on this side. And then it's just a floral pattern on this side, but they are reversible. You can turn them in and use them the other way. I like that the ends are long and you can flip them over a little bit to keep from burning your hands when you're lifting the pan. So you can use this instead of using a hot plate or putting a pot holder under your hot pan. And then if it cools off and you want to microwave it, you don't have to take it out. Now this is the smaller one, so it's just like it but shorter. So I thought those were really cute. I do want to make some of those for Christmas. Now I thought something good to go with the cozies for a gift would be to put some matching tea towels with them. So I've taken these and then I've added strips of the fabrics that I used for the cozies. You can see the strips are on both sides. Now, there's not a definite pattern for these towels. There are a lot of suggestions on Pinterest, and I think the one that I mainly used was by Elefantz, ELEFANTZ.com designs. So Elefantz Designs, and I'll link that website so you can take a look. Now, on hers, she uses ready-made towels, and she takes a strip of the fabric and just makes it a little bit wider than the finished towel. And then she cuts off the bottom hem, and then she seams it to the bottom, and then she folds in the ends. Then she flips up the other sides and has the edge pressed down, and then she just sews the bottom of this part the same time she sews this. Now, I didn't use ready-made towels. These are actually some towels that I made. It's just some fabric that I got from Hobby Lobby. Now, it's not quilter's cotton. I'm not sure what they classify this as. It's 100% cotton. I think it's like a cotton sheeting, maybe. But I like it for my kitchen towels because it's crisper than like some of the thinner tea towels, so it does take embroidery better. And you could also, machine embroidery a design above this. So anyway, to make the towels, I just cut my fabric strips the same width as the unfinished, unhemmed towel piece. And then I did the seam first, tucking in the rickrack. And then when I got that done, I took the fabric, the decorative fabric, and then I turned it right sides together and did a deep enough side seam so that when I flipped it out, I had this nice corner. I could turn this part of the towel in twice to make the hem. So then I just went down the sides and the top, and then I went back and I made sure I pressed the other edge on this side under, and then I just made sure that it came up a little bit over the seam, and then I top stitched it on this side. So it makes a nice little neat towel. And then you could go ahead and embroidery if you wanted to. I do have some really cute bee designs that I got from Juju Designs. I'm a big fan of Juju embroidery designs. I think they're so cute, they're very well made, and they're very inexpensive. Here's an example of one. I had some linen and made a little linen tea towel. I did this earlier in the year, but this is one of her designs that says honeybees and flowers please. So I think that's just really cute. And I think she's running a sale right now this month where her designs are like $1 each. And usually when she says $1 each, it's not just one design, it's a set. Like these bee designs, there's probably 4 or 5 designs in this set. And I think I paid probably $2 for that set. So I have a lot of designs from her. I probably have more designs from her than I will ever use. But they're so cute and inexpensive. I just love to collect them. So that brings us to number 10 of my gift ideas. And number 10 I didn't get made up, but I think it's just really cute. And it's the Chubby Lunch Tote by So Can She. Now this is a free pattern on her blog site. Her blog site has all the instructions, it has the pattern laid out, all the materials, and that's free. But if you want a really nice PDF version of it, then it's like $2. But it's got everything you need on the blog site for free. You can insulate this little bag and make it a little lunch tote, or you can, doesn't have to be a lunch tote, you can just put anything that you want into it. But it's a really cute little tote bag. And it's fairly simple looking, but it doesn't look like it has any special hardware to buy except for just a zipper. Everything else looks like it's, you know, fabric or batting. But that is the Chubby Lunch Tote, and that's So Can She blog. And I'll link that below. My next gift idea is a pattern that I really wanted to make up this week, but I ran out of time. It is the So Sweetness Oslo Craft Bag, and it's this really cute little craft tote that'd be great for crafting, or if you have a project, sewing project, knitting project, crochet. You know, it's open, it's got a large area in the middle that's open, and I think it also has little pockets on the inside, and then it has pockets on the outside on both sides, and then on the end it even has more pockets that look like they have little flaps over them to kind of keep things secure. And it looks like it wouldn't require that much fabric. You can use coordinating fabrics. It looks like you could, you know, use up some fabric scraps. So I think this would make a great gift for any of your friends or family that's crafty, that maybe crochets or knits or sews or embroideries, and that needs like a project bag. So I think this is just a super cute little tote, and I will link the pattern down in the description below. The next pattern I have is also a free pattern from Spoonflower, and it's this little mini backpack. Now I haven't made it, but I was looking through it. It looks fairly simple. It's a fairly small backpack. The finished size is only 11 inches high by 9 inches wide, and it's 4 inches deep. So it's kind of geared towards a child. It just looks like a zipper. It has a little bit of hardware on the strap, and I believe it's got like an interior pocket inside. So it looks fairly easy to make. And that is a free pattern by Spoonflower. So the next pattern is one that I have made before, but I don't have it with me right now because I put it in one of my shoe boxes. But it is this pleated tote pattern. But I wanted to include it in this video because I think it is really cute, and I think you can make it for teenage girls or adult women. And I like the pleats on the outside. I thought this was a pretty easy pattern to make. And I think the pleats make it even easier than if it was gathered. I did add an interior pocket to the inside of mine. I don't think there's one actually in the pattern. But I like to have interior pockets, you know, like to put my phone or wallet or sunglasses in. Now for the one I made, I had used a canvas, just a lightweight canvas fabric, and it made up real well in it. You could use quilter's cotton, you just want to interface those pieces, or you could use some twill on that. But that's the Pleated Tote by Ellen Luckett Baker. And the finished height on this is about 12.5 inches, and it's about 13 inches wide. So fairly roomy tote. So now I've gotten down to my next to last gift suggestion. And this is one that I have been working on this week. And I mentioned this pattern in the video that I did that was 13 free patterns to make this winter. And it is the Forage Bag by Noodlehead. And I have started making the larger one. Now, I thought I was going to finish it, but I'm having just a slight problem with the grommets. So here is what I've got so far. I mean, it's completely done except I don't have the grommets. This is made with Spoonflower's dogwood denim. And their denim is very stiff, heavyweight denim. And it does say that it's good for bag making. This little bag is 9 inches wide by 11.5 inches tall. It only has one zipper on it, which is right here. The instructions are really good. Illustrations are good. I thought it was a really nice laid out pattern. This cat design is by Hippopotamus. On Spoonflower, and I love how bright and vivid it is. Now this is a gift, but I don't think the person who I'm giving it to watches my videos, but she is a cat lover and she loves bright colors. She's a younger type person. So I love this cat design. Now this coordinating print is a different designer, and it's called Turquoise Blue Triangle, and it is by Maria Faith Garcia. But I thought it went perfectly with the cat design. Now I think this is a great pattern. I did have some problem, but the problem was not the pattern, it was just the fabric that I selected. I didn't realize this denim was so stiff and heavy duty. And you're supposed to interface all your pieces. This denim is interfaced. This lining inside, which is just some fabric from Hobby Lobby, is interfaced. So you have a whole bunch of layers that you're trying to sew through. And also, another confession, this took me an extra hour to get this made because I lost my zipper foot. I had used it a few weeks ago when I did a zippered pouch, and I guess I just didn't put it back in the accessory bag, and it's a pretty small foot, you know, the zipper foot, and I looked all over on top of my machine, around my machine, on the floor for like an hour, and I couldn't figure out where it had went to. And I tried to use the zipper foot on my little old Singer sewing machine, but I guess it didn't like the thickness, or I think probably it didn't have the right needle. I did use a Janome denim needle for this bag, and I went really slow on some of these layers because I was afraid it was going to bend that needle. So it did take some extra time in sewing time because I was going very, very slow. On some of these really thick parts, I was hand cranking it because I could just see that needle breaking. But I got through it. So I couldn't find the zipper foot, and I had this little tin that has these little clips like this right beside my sewing machine. And I thought, I wonder if I have accidentally thrown the zipper foot in there because it's about the same size as these clips. So I dumped the tin, and there was my zipper foot with all the little clips. So I found my zipper foot, got my zipper in, so I think it works pretty well. There is an interior pocket in here. So all I lack is, you're supposed to have a grommet here where I have it marked, and a grommet. It's just a 5/8 inch grommet that's this size. So I had never put grommets in anything, so I went online to Amazon and got this grommet installer, and it got great reviews. And I like that you didn't have to nail, use a hammer or whatever. And it said it cut through fabric like butter. And so you just put your 2 pieces, one here and one here. And I practiced first on this little piece of denim. And this denim is actually just 2 pieces of denim and 2 pieces of interfacing. And I got through it fine. It punched out the fabric. I feel like these grommets are pretty snug. It came with like a whole bunch of silver ones and a whole bunch of gold ones. But then I realized that this appears a lot thicker. This is actually 4 pieces of denim. Each of these pieces are lined, and then it's folded over, and it also has interfacing inside. So I've got like 4 pieces of denim and 4 layers, I guess, of interfacing. And of course, I didn't practice on this bag, so I took another piece of denim and tried to fold it over as much as what the top of the bag was. And I even had my husband see if he could press it down, and we couldn't get the 2 pieces to stay together or to punch all the way through. So I guess what I need to do is get more of a heavy duty grommet installer where you actually kind of hammer it down with a piece of like a little rod. So I will practice on a scrap first because I don't want to mess up the bag. But anyway, once you get the grommets, then you just take the ends of these straps and stick them through, and then you put knots in the ends of your straps, and that keeps them from coming through the grommets because the grommets are pretty small. And then you can adjust how long you want the strap to be by just cutting off. They don't have you finish this edge right here below the knots. I probably will put some fray check right here. So other than having problems with the grommets and just the thickness of this and going really slow, I really like the bag. On the inside, you cover the seam. It's not one of those bags where the lining is sewed separately and the bag is sewed separately, but it's all folded right sides together, and then you have a seam, and then you're supposed to cover the inside of the seam with bias tape. And you're supposed to like make the bias tape out of some of your lining fabric, but I just used like ready-made tape because no one's going to see if that's really coordinating or anything. Now, putting that bias tape on, I had to go really slow too because that seam was super thick, but I did get it covered. And then you would just press it all out, and it was really hard to press these top corners out. I was trying to use my fingers because if I tried to use like a stick or something, it would just break. But I've got them pressed out as well as I can. So for my suggestion, I would say don't use a heavyweight denim. I would use like a canvas, like a lightweight canvas or a twill. I think that would work great. Now, I have already bought more of this denim because Spoonflower was having a sale. So I bought more denim in different designs geared towards people that I wanted to make the bag for. So what I'm going to do to not have as many problems, I'm not going to interface this denim. I'm just not going to use any interfacing except for this bag, for this pocket, and for the piece of the lining that the pocket goes on, because I want to give it some stability. So I'm going to eliminate all the interfacing on here. I think that will really help it sew up a little quicker and a little easier by just eliminating the interfacing. So that is the Forage bag. I think it's super cute. I hope to get the grommets in this week after I purchase another grommet installer. And when I do, I will put it in my next video with the grommets in it. So my last gift suggestion is an item that you would put with probably the most gift that is given during the holidays, and that is a gift card. So I've made this little gift card holder, and it is by Crafty for Home. and I will link her website for that. Now, this is very simple. Actually, the pattern piece looks like this. So you do a outer piece, and then a lining piece, and then a little thin interfacing, and stitch those all together. Now on her, she has it where she has a button here and a button here, and then she takes some little twine and just wraps them around the two buttons. But what I did was I just used this little elastic cord and inserted it when I was doing the seam, and then you can just put it around the button down here. So I thought this was really cute. I actually made one that looks pretty much just like it to use as a wedding gift last week. I had a gift card for one of the stores that the bride had registered for, and instead of just sticking the gift card in my wedding card, I made one of these and put it in, and I thought that just made it look so much nicer. Now, I wouldn't go to the trouble to make a cute little gift card for just anyone. You know, probably most guys are just going to toss the holder, or a kid. I would make it for someone who would appreciate, you know, the time that you put into it and how cute it is, but also for someone who would reuse the gift card holder. So I think it would work well for a gift card for Christmas, or a gift card for a wedding gift, or say a baby shower gift. But there are a number of free gift card patterns out there on the internet. You know, some had flaps, some fold complete over and will have like two places to put cards. But I thought this one was really cute. On this same website, Crafty for Home, she also has where you can print out some little gift tags. And they look like this. And you can see them in the picture that I have up. So I've already had cut one out and put to the bride and the groom, and for me and my husband, and then punched a hole. And what I had done was taken a little piece of twine and just tied that around this button too, so it had a little gift tag on it, and then I put it in my card. So I thought that made it even cuter. So this is also available on her website that you can print out for free and use it with the little homemade gifts. So that wraps up my gift giving ideas. I hope you've enjoyed them and found a few that you can make up for the holidays. I would love to hear which ones you like the best, and you can put that in the comments below. Or if you've made any of these, let me know that too. My husband and I have another camping trip coming up in about a week. I'm hoping to get one of my new sweatshirt patterns made so I can wear the sweatshirt on my trip. And if I do, then I'll try to make a short video to post before I leave. But if I don't have time, it'll probably be a couple weeks before my next video. I do plan to post a couple of these on Instagram for the sewing challenge, a gift to November 2023. I'm sure if you watch other sewists, you've heard all about that sewing challenge and that hashtag. So I'm not going to go into all those details. But I do want to remind you that you have to post your photos on November 30th, which is coming up. So until I see you in my next video, take care and happy sewing.